Welcome to Spoken Injustice, where we put the criminal justice system in the dock. In our video dedicated to the Court of Appeal and how we currently treat innocence claims, which you can find in the link below, we highlighted that a major breakthrough when it comes to wrongful convictions will be not as much reforming the rules, but reforming the people who administer justice. And we stand wholeheartedly by that statement. I was touched by an interview I saw some years ago on YouTube of a Wayne County prosecutor, Kim Worthy, who established a Conviction Integrity Unit, or CIU for short, which aims at reviewing cases and investigating claims of innocence.
This project takes on your own prosecutions. It takes on your own work.
It does. These are sometimes exhaustive investigations that take months and sometimes years to make sure that we've turned over every corner, to make sure that we've done full and fair investigations.
Even if it might make your team look bad or the police here look bad.
It's not about us. It's about justice. It's not about us. It's not about me. It's not about the prosecutor that did the case. It's not about any police agency. It's about making sure in that particular case that justice was done. And we ought never run for that.
I want to stress those words again. It's not about us. It's about making sure that justice is done. This not only acknowledges the potential of miscarriages of justice, but also highlights the importance and need for continuous scrutiny of criminal cases, even after convictions have been secured. As a former prosecutor, those words resonate with me because I too had this approach. It was never about me or my department. It was never about me or us winning a case. But I was always motivated by justice with a capital J, by being fair to the accused as well as the victim, and had always the big picture in mind. I will shortly provide you with more information about CIUs and criticisms directed at them, so follow us until the end. But before doing so, if you are finding this video interesting, please like it and also consider subscribing if you have not done so already to help us promote the debate into wrongful convictions and injustices within our criminal justice system. Thank you. Kim Worthy has been known for her efforts to reform the criminal justice system and address issues related to the wrongful convictions in Wayne County, Michigan, including high-profile cases involving DNA evidence and the use of new forensic techniques. Conviction integrity units are becoming more common across the United States as a way to address and rectify potential wrongful convictions. They work to ensure the justice system is fair and accurate. These units typically re-examine evidence, witness statements, and other aspects of cases to determine whether there is credible new information that could potentially exonerate a wrongfully convicted individual. If such evidence is found, CIUs work to have convictions overturned and individuals released from prison. These are divisions within the prosecution office and are not to be confused with innocence organizations, or IO for short, which are non-governmental organizations dedicated to investigating and remedying wrongful convictions. However, in some counties, like the Wayne County, the two often cooperate. In an article published by Connecticut Public Radio in June 2023, entitled Conviction Integrity Units Promise a Lifeline to the Wrongfully Convicted, but Justice Moves Slowly, it is stated that Connecticut CIU has closed 52 cases since it launched back in 2021. None of those cases have resulted in an overturned conviction. The Quattrone Center for the Fair Administration of Law at the University of Pennsylvania Law School offers guidance to CIUs nationally. The Quattrone Center director and assistant director have commented that when looking at metrics for success of CIUs, rather than looking at numbers, they look at CIUs' flexibility, transparency, and independence. Speaking of the Connecticut CIU, the Quattrone Center Assistant Director says that though the unit checks all these boxes, there are areas that can be improved. For example, for the CIU to pick up a case, the applicant must identify plausible and verifiable evidence that would lead to a loss of confidence in the conviction. But that evidence often is produced over the course of the CIU's investigation. A lot of units have that, but it's not a great practice, she says. Because when somebody applies to the unit, they are most often in prison. They don't have resources to hire an investigator. They haven't been able to investigate their case. They don't work with a lawyer. So all they know is, look, it was wrong. I was convicted of something I didn't do. But they don't have the evidence. In fact, that evidence most of the time is developed through the investigation done by the CIU. Supervisory Assistant State's Attorney Joseph Valdez says that CIU addresses that problem by interviewing applicants at the start of the process. But similar criticisms have been raised here in the UK against our Criminal Cases Review Commission, which is an institution independent from prosecution, defence, and the judiciary. I would say that as wrongful convictions are generally systemic failures, efforts to uncover wrongful convictions should be of a similar systemic nature. As far as we are concerned here at Spoken in Justice, CIUs in England and Wales will be welcomed, as would complement charities, universities, and CCRC efforts in investigating and rectifying wrongful convictions. Collective efforts to investigate innocence claims is not only desirable, but I will suggest it should be mandatory. And what are your thoughts? Do we have what it takes here in the UK to have transparent, independent, and flexible units similar to the US CIUs within the CPS? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you have found this video useful, and if so, please like it and consider subscribing if you want to support our mission to make miscarriages of justice the focus in the wider community. Also, join our networking hub at spokeninjustice.net to have your say as to the future content of this channel. Join us again next week. We look forward to usher you as we sit and rise in this unique trial.